Saint Bernadette of Lourdes, born January 7, 1844, Lourdes, France, died April 16, 1879, Nevers, canonized December 8, 1933, feast day April 16, but sometimes February 18 in France, is a French saint whose visions led to the founding of the Marian shrine of Lourdes. Frail in health, Bernadette was the eldest of 9 children from a poverty-stricken family. Her father was a miller. She contracted cholera in the epidemic of 1854 and suffered from asthma and other ailments throughout her life. Between February 11th and July 16th, 1858, at the age of 14, she had a series of visions of the Virgin Mary in the Massabielle grotto in Lourdes. Mary revealed her identity with the words, "I am the Immaculate Conception," and, among other messages and affirmations, told Bernadette that a chapel should be built there. Bernadette steadfastly defended the genuineness of these visions despite strong opposition from her parents, the local clergy, and civil authorities, and she faithfully transmitted Mary's messages. To escape public attention, she became a boarder in the local school run by the Sisters of Charity of Nevers. In 1866, she was granted admission into the novitiate in the Mother House at Nevers. There, she completed her religious instruction and passed her remaining years in prayer and seclusion, happy and loved for her kindliness, holiness, and wit, despite almost constant sickness and pain. She died in agony, willingly accepting her great sufferings in faithful fulfillment of Her Lady's request for penance. Pilgrimage at Lourdes Pilgrims, touching the rock of the Massabielle grotto in Lourdes, France. The grotto was the site of Marian apparitions received by Bernadette Soubirous in 1858. She was canonized by Pope Pius XI, who approved her visions and the veneration of Mary as Our Lady of Lourdes. Celebration of Bernadette's feast is optional in the Roman calendar, though Lourdes is a major pilgrimage center for those seeking healing. The chapel of the Saint-Gildard convent, Nevers, contains her body, which is said to be incorrupt. Lourdes, pilgrimage town, Haute-Pyrénées département, Occitanie région, southwestern France, southwest of Toulouse, situated at the foot of the Pyrenees and now on both banks of a torrent, the Gave de Pau. The town and its fortress formed a strategic stronghold in medieval times. During the 100 Years' War, the French captured it from the English in 1406 after an 18-month siege. The medieval castle on the right bank of the Gave de Pau has an interesting 14th-century keep. From the reign of Louis XIV, 1643 to 1715, to the beginning of the 19th century, the castle was used as a state prison. Lourdes' elevation of the consecrated host and chalice at a Mass in Lourdes, France. The contemporary importance of Lourdes dates from 1858. In that year, from February 11th to July 16th, Bernadette Soubirous, a 14-year-old girl, had numerous visions of the Virgin Mary in the nearby Massabielle grotto on the left bank of the stream. The visions were declared worthy of devotion by Pope Pius IX in 1862, and veneration of Mary as Our Lady of Lourdes was authorized. The underground spring in the grotto, revealed to Bernadette, was declared to have miraculous qualities, and Lourdes became a major pilgrimage center. The basilica, built above the grotto in 1876, eventually became overcrowded by the increasing number of pilgrims, and in 1958, an immense pre-stressed concrete underground church, seating 20,000, was dedicated. Lourdes is visited by millions every year, and tourism plays a dominant role in the local economy. There are numerous small and medium-sized manufacturing and service firms located in the town. Population, 1999, 15,203, 2014 assessed, 14,361. Marian apparitions are supernatural events in which the Virgin Mary, the Mother of Jesus, is alleged to have appeared to one or more people. They are predominantly associated with Roman Catholic tradition, although the Coptic Orthodox Church has also recognized apparitions. A famous example of a Marian apparition is the manifestation of Our Lady of Guadalupe to Juan Diego in what is now Mexico City in 1531. Hundreds of Marian apparitions have been reported in the 20th century, but only a small number in the history of the Church have been approved by a bishop. Of these, only 16 have been deemed worthy of belief by the Vatican, which has specific regulations for investigating such phenomena. Notably, the Holy See will not declare any apparition authentic. In many reported apparitions, the witness or witnesses claim that Mary offered them a message for humanity, or that she performed a miracle before their eyes. In others, the witnesses reported that Mary did not speak or perform any specific action. Most apparitions feature only Mary, but there have been some in which the witnesses claim to have seen other figures with her, such as a saint or Jesus. Some apparitions were reported as having been single occurrences, while others are said to have occurred numerous times over several days, weeks, or years, albeit typically in the same location. Fatima Visionaries. In 1917, 3 children, left to right, Jacinta Marto, Francisco Marto, and Lucia dos Santos, claimed to have received an apparition of the Virgin Mary several times in Fatima, Portugal. More. Witnesses. Individuals who have claimed to have received an apparition are often referred to as visionaries. They have ranged in age from young children to adults. Of the Marian apparitions that have been deemed worthy of belief by the Vatican, the apparition at Knock, Ireland, on August 21, 1879, had the greatest number of witnesses. At least 15 people claim to have seen Mary alongside other holy figures on that day. However, the Coptic Orthodox Church recognizes a mass apparition in Cairo during which Mary is said to have appeared many times on the roof of a church in the city's Zaytun district between 1968 and 1971, drawing crowds of thousands of people. Some visionaries have been canonized as saints, including Hildegard of Bingen, Peter Nolasco, Joan of Arc, Juan Diego, Teresa of Avila, Bernadette Soubirous, and Padre Pio. Many of these people lived before the Church established rules for investigating visions, and their claims were taken on faith, approved by a parish priest, or repeated and endorsed through popular tradition. The vast majority of apparitions, however, have gone uninvestigated. The earliest purported Marian apparition occurred in 40 CE in Zaragoza, Spain, when the Apostle James the Greater is said to have seen a vision of Mary while preaching on the banks of the Ebro River, Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe, overlooking Mexico City. The Virgin Mary's message to Juan Diego in 1531 contained a clear request: "Go to the palace of the Bishop of Mexico, and you will say to him that I manifest my great desire, that here on this plain a temple be built to me." More. Meaning and messages. In Roman Catholic belief, Mary functions as a mediatrix between God and humanity, meaning that she intercedes on behalf of all sinners and prays for humans and their redemption. Marian apparitions are therefore regarded by some Catholics as another manifestation of this function, especially because a number of visionaries have reported receiving a message from her for humanity. Devotion to Our Lady of Kibeho. 2 worshippers pray before a statue of Our Lady of Kibeho in the chapel of the Sanctuary of Our Lady of Kibeho in Rwanda. The sanctuary was built on the site where 3 teenage girls received apparitions of the Virgin Mary beginning in 1981. More. The subjects of these messages have ranged from requests to build a shrine to Mary, as in the visions received by Juan Diego in Mexico and by Bernadette Soubirous in Lourdes, France, to concerns about world events and the prevalence of sin, as in the visions received by 3 children in Fatima, Portugal, in 1917. In the Fatima apparitions, the messages purportedly contained references to the consecration of Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Some Catholics believe this message to have been a prophecy about the rise and fall of communism in the 20th century. Similarly, the apparitions received by 3 teenage girls in Kibeho, Rwanda, beginning in 1981, contained a message that prophesied the Rwanda genocide of 1994. Pilgrimage at Lourdes. Catholic pilgrims touching the rock of the Massabielle Grotto in Lourdes, France. The grotto was the site of Marian apparitions received by Bernadette Soubirous in 1858. For example, numerous pilgrims to Lourdes have claimed that drinking from the natural spring in the grotto where Mary is said to have appeared has cured them of illnesses or worked similar miracles in their lives. However, devotional practices are often discouraged by the presiding bishop, while the local diocese investigates the apparition. Nevertheless, veneration may continue even after the diocese has deemed the apparition not credible.